to Super Scary.
It's our brand new horror movie review show.
Yes, we are SUPERDIVORCE. We're a band. I'm Bender.
I'm Nicholas.
And we're very excited about this show. Get to talk about horror movies, which is one of our passions.
Yeah. We've been brewing this idea for quite a while now, so we're just going to jump in here and get started right away. And what are we going to be talking about today?
Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite movies ever, Sleepaway Camp.
And it's a movie that I had not seen in my entire life until last evening. So, as I watched Sleepaway Camp, I took notes.
All right.
Like a good student.
Yeah, like a good student.
And I feel like you're kind of you're like the professor here because this is one of your favorites.
I do. I enjoy this movie very much. I have the Scream Factory Special Edition Blu-ray. I tracked it down by myself and watched it. You know, I think it's one of the great 80s summer camp slashers, if not the best 80s summer camp slasher.
And until I watched it, I would have heard that and maybe scoffed. Because Friday the 13th has always been one of my favorites. I think it's the first slasher franchise that I really got into when I was in probably, I'd say like 7th grade, 6th or 7th, and then I bought them all on VHS and I watched them all the time. But I think the first one is the best as far as just like a movie goes.
Yeah.
So hearing that Sleepaway Camp was the best from you, I was a little skeptical going in.
Yeah.
But just to get it out of the way, I agree.
Good.
I agree
Good.
now.
Yeah. It's an excellent film. You know, I can't even say. I watched it a while back, a couple years ago, because Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 were on Netflix, and I really wanted to watch them. I'd just kind of seen them around before, and I started watching a little bit of Sleepaway Camp 2 because I was like, okay, like I can't see the first one, but like whatever. Well, of course, in the first couple minutes, they sort of spoil the first movie, and I was like, nope, turned it off, and I think, you know, pirated the first one because that's what we do nowadays.
Yeah.
And loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Now, quick thing, right off the bat, I noticed when the movie was beginning, there were no recognizable actors.
No. Yeah, I think that's
No
a great
one-
thing for that film.
Yeah, so it's a movie that is, I mean, I knew about its cult following, but I will say it is a classic, having watched it now. I mean, I think, like I said, it's the best that I've seen as far as like your camp horror movies.
Yeah. You know, another great thing about the film, as well as like not having having unrecognizable actors, it's unique in the sense that camp is in session during the film. So there are kids running around this camp the whole time. It's not, you know, your Friday the 13th or even the Sleepaway Camp sequels or Madman, where it's just your counselors that have arrived before everything gets going and then get killed off, you know? So I think, as far as I know, there's only one other film, The Burning, that the camp is in session. You know, as far as true grit slashers go, the Sleepaway Camp 1 and The Burning have kids involved. And I think it was a smart choice on the director's part to cast young children like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And speaking of children, it is pretty brutal that some of these smaller kids end up getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to make sure, we didn't really talk about this beforehand, but I don't want to spoil the ending.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Just I feel like we can talk about it, the intensity of it.
Yeah.
But I will say, because we don't have a whole lot of time, I want to make sure that we cover this at the least. And that is the last minute or so of the movie, it seals the deal.
It really does.
You're watching the whole thing and it's like, yeah, this is fun. It's like a fun, campy, you know.
No pun intended.
Yeah. It's one of those, you know, it's a summer camp slasher, and then the last minute just fucking blows your head off. You know, it's the ending scene will forever be burned into my memory now.
Yeah, I felt the same way after I saw it the first time, and I was not expecting it at all, of course.
Right.
Because luckily no one had spoiled it for me, and I had nightmares, you know.
Yeah. I expected to have nightmares last night.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I was fully expecting it, just because of how intense the ending to that movie is. It's insane. If you've not seen it, you need to go and watch it. And actually, I watched it on Shudder, which if you have an Amazon account, you can get a free week of Shudder, and if you want to keep it, it's like a horror movie streaming service. It's only $4.99 a month. So,
shameless plug.
Yeah,
I guess. Shudder, please sponsor us.
Yeah, please. The mom in the movie is
best
creepy.
Character. So good. That's something I wanted to talk about too. I love how creepy she is.
I wrote down, I'm glad she's not my mom. That was like within the first, few minutes of the movie too.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie, or everything that hits you hard, I think. Yeah. Pulls no punches.
It's really, you watch it, and that opening scene is very kind of lame. I mean, for a setup scene, it's kind of lame. But then you get to the present, so to speak, and that mom, man, she is just... it really sets a tone, like, because you're not expecting her to be so creepy, and then the rest of the movie is kind of like your typical fare, and then you're not expecting the kills to be so brutal, and then you're definitely not expecting the ending. So I think it's real subtle that she's so creepy right at the beginning, you know, and you just don't really think anything of it.
And then her creepiness at the end as well.
Oh, just
amps it up even more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Speaking of creepy characters in this movie, how about Artie the cook?
That's another one. Yeah, he is just gross.
Very gross.
You know,
when you first see him, he's like casually, or not the first time you see him, but the first time you see him working, he's like casually drinking a Miller High Life in the kitchen where he's cooking for these children.
Yeah.
And then of course that's the least offensive thing that he does.
Yeah.
Is he very quickly thereafter tries to have his way with a young girl.
Mm-hmm.
So
it bothers me mostly that everyone sort of just knows and kind of looks the other way.
Yeah,
like
it's like,
all
oh,
his
that's
employees,
just Artie.
He's just a molester,
Yeah.
no big deal.
Don't say anything.
Oh, Artie.
And the guy who runs the camp, Mel, much more concerned with keeping the camp running than finding out exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
For a good portion of the movie.
Or doing background checks on his employees.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was 83, but still,
Yeah. I don't know.
1 minute.
We're gonna have to wrap this up quickly, but a few quotes from the movie. This guy blows dead dogs.
Proud, this guy blows dead dogs. Just
same scene. Eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live.
Eat shit and die, Ricky. Eat shit and live, Bill. Yeah, Bill.
I don't know. Anything else you want to add on this real quick?
Well, I did just want to talk about, it's kind of a silly movie overall, but the gore in it.
Yeah.
It's not over the top, but that makeup is excellent, especially Artie's makeup.
Right.
I mean, spoiler right there a little bit, but Artie's makeup is really disturbing especially for a first kill.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to highlight how good the effects in it are. It's very reminiscent. Parts of it are reminiscent of The Thing almost.
Yeah.
In how well it's crafted.
Yeah. That's it.
I think that's about 10.
Okay.
Well, we got 25 seconds.
Okay.
So thank you for tuning in today for Super Scary.
We'll talk about something else next week, and expect it to get a little more evened out. And
for our first video. Sorry, we ran out of time. Thank you for watching. Tune in next week. Watch Sleepaway Camp. Oh my.